Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today my topic is about the genetics. It is the third chapter of the biology for class 10th. Now listen here. Today what we are going to study, that's about the genetics. Listen here what genetics makes we people to understand. The genetics, as we know that money has the provide money breakthroughs in the history of science, and also provide new avenues for the sciences to work in the different fields and work in the different departments. Now what the genetics makes we people to understand: first, it makes we people to understand that how traits are transmitted from one generation to next generation. Trait means that the characters. A character is about when we come to the plant, we'll find the plant is having the leaves over there, the plant is having the flowers over there. Okay, the plant is having the arrangement of branches over there, the plant is having the arrangement of leaves over the branches. This all makes the trait. The color of the leaf, the color of the flower, okay, the color of the leaf, the color of the flower, the arrangement of the flower, it's all about the trait. The color of the eye of a human being, the color of the hair of the human being, it's all about trait. So genetics makes we people to understand how these traits are to be transmitted from one generation to next generation. Second one, these traits are transmitted, and it makes we people to understand that how these genes are organized, that how the small units, the heredity units we called as a genes, how these genes are to be organized within the human body, and how are they being organized, and how they express their characters, how these genes express their traits in an offspring, in future generations rather. And third one, we just call that how genes behave in the population, how these genes express their characters, and these characters they do different, these characters are to be expressed, and they behave differently in the populations, and how these genes evolve with the passage of time. So these things we come across with the subject that's to be called as a genetics. Now listen here what genetics is all about. I'm just telling you that genetics is the branch of biological sciences. Okay, it's a branch of biological sciences which makes we people to understand. Later it is we just called it is the study of heredity and variation. Heredity and variations. So heredity is simply the transmit of characters. I will give a simple term over here for the related of heredity. मैं आपको एक example समझाता हूँ. like एक term है heredity में, like begets like begets like means an offspring, a parent will raise offspring that is similar in the phenotype, that is similar in the morphology, that is similar in the autonomy. Okay, this is to be called as phenotype. Like I will give the examples of this. Like beget like. A dog will raise the puppies. The dog will not raise the kittens. Okay, the humans will raise the offspring, we just call it the human babies, not any other kind of the organism. So this makes we people to understand the heredity, characters, that characters are to be transmitted. This is what like begets like is. And second one is the variation. So if the traits are to be expressed about the morphology, it is the morphology, it is the color of the eye, there is the color of the eye, the height of the body, the color of the hair, it is the trait that is being expressed, that's being transmitted from generation, that's being transmitted from parents to their offspring. Now listen here, next one is their variation. What is the variation? Variation is the minute differences between parents and offsprings. Listen here. I just mentioned the genetics makes we people to understand these things. Okay, It's all right. Now coming to here, I'm just telling you that genetics is the study of heredity and evolution. Heredity is the transmission of characters. It's a transmission of characters. What character is? I'm just telling you that character we just call it a trait. Transmission of trait or transmission of characters. What character is? Character is all about the, you know that we just called in a second terms, we called this a phenotype. The external morphology, the morphology of an organism is to be the phenotype. Suppose color of an eye, suppose we just call that your eyes look like that's your father have, your hair is like that your mother have, your nose resembles like with your mother. So this is the trait. Either some of the characters are to be expressed from paternal side, some of the characters are to be expressed from that of the maternal side. So these are to be called as traits, and these traits are expressed because of the genes. And this is what genetics is, that how these genes, how these traits are be transmitted. That's how the trait, how the color of eye is to be transmitted in an offspring, how the shape of the nose is to be transmitted in an offspring. This is what heredity is. Now question there, then what is the variation? Variation I just mentioned over here, it's the minute differences between the parents and offspring. Suppose मैं आपको एक example बोलता हूँ, a dog will raise the puppies. A female dog will raise the puppies. A female dog will